The National Mall as the hometown Redskins were introduced to this sold-out crowd. They are set to go as their guys will match up with the Detroit Lions. The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that's complete to Jesse James. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Tackle made by the Pro Bowl safety Landon Collins.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Looking for Amendola, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. He couldn't hook up with Amendola there. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
Now a play fake here on first down. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Certainly not the cleanest of starts to this football game. Back-to-back plays yield turnovers in this first quarter.
So there's not much flow right now. A very choppy game. And I know this. It's a copycat league. We say it all the time about the NFL. but I'm not quite sure this is what they had in mind about something they wanted to emulate.
No, you don't want to emulate a turnover. They begin the drive with Johnson. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And boy, this Redskin defense charged up now. They stop him behind the line again. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction.
The Redskins take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd down, Haskins. His throw incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
What we got?
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. He'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Ryan Kerrigan has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
64, weak.
Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. Amendola catching it left side. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
First down, Detroit.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. The shotgun snap for Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground, and the Redskins scoop it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Now Haskins. And Davis with it left side. Touchdown, Washington. Corey Davis. His 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Johnson running right. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
Stafford down to throw. James has it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. He sets to fire deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf.
A gain of 46 yards on the play. And the Lions 1st down. That's the end of the first quarter.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Lions with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
On 2nd and 9, Stafford, a throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Ready. Pittsburgh. Hey, watch the slant, Chud. Watch the slant. 51's the mic.
On 2nd and 12, Haskins looking middle, and it's incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down.
Mike spot 4. Ricky. Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike.
3rd down, here's Haskins. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he is out up around the 15-yard line. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him, 15 big yards.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10.
So don't say nothing.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Slam. 80 weapon. Go. Orbit. Check Mike 54.
On 1st down, it's Haskins. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. Second and 10. Here's Haskins again. Throw right side, caught by Davis. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 28.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Bryce Love, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, Stafford. Amendola's got it, complete. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Lady! Check 55, Mike. Watch the run, watch the run, watch the run.
Stafford on 3rd down. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is taken around the 12. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10.
Ready?
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
51, Mike. Mike 51. Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
On second and a couple. Haskins. And he fires one incomplete. The intended target was the rookie Terry McLaurin. And it's 3rd and short.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there. Threw it behind him. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Watch the screen. 51 to Mike. 51 to Mike. Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up.
3rd and 2. Now Haskins. Jordan Reed has it. First target, first catch, and a first down.
So how would you describe that one, partner? Workmanlike right there, getting that first down, blue-collar type football?
Yeah, only needed 3, got 4, just enough. I like workmanlike.
I think it's pretty cool myself. Everything doesn't have to be high glamour in this game.
On first down, here's Love. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Credit the sack to Brandon Marshall.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. That's going to be caught by Richardson. The 40, the 20, 10, touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson, 84 yards. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Stafford. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. Amendola, he was the intended target. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
That good for 22 and a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Get ready.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
This to McLaurin out on the left side. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Right here, guys.
Now it's Haskins. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Corey Davis with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now.
Makes the score Redskins 28, Lions nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
11 yards there, first down.
Detroit.
It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right...
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Detroit. Logan Thomas, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
The Redskins take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Kill.
Haskins will throw. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Shotgun handoff to Thompson. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
51, Mike 51. Silver. Hayward. Right here, guys. Fight 51.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Haskins. And now he'll tuck it and run. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
On 3rd down, Thompson. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
Come on now, let's go.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Let him know. Short. Hey, Mike D.
Now Haskins on first down. And he rifles one incomplete. He was looking to get that one to Chris Thompson. And it's second down. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Second and 10 now. Haskins. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Devon Kennard. He's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
51's the mic. 51's the mic. Let's go, D. Check 52.
Throwing on third and long. Haskins. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down.
Results in a fourth down.
Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down. And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, first and 10. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to second and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
We own them. We own them.
On second down and 4. Stafford looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, third and 1.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and he passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Golladay, 76 yards. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down.
Mike 51. Here we go, Keith.
Haskins looking to throw on first down. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 40 now on second down. Haskins. That'll be caught right side by Reed. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Haskins on third down. Throw left side complete. It's Thompson. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Here we go again. Here we go again.
On 2nd and 7, Stafford looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The safety blitz works perfectly that time for Landon Collins. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Lions go for it on 4th. It's Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. Throwing now, Haskins on 1st down. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Here's Haskins to throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
It's a gain of 10.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Stafford to his tight end, James. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Stafford now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Johnson. And, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run, the best runs for the...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Reuben Foster picks it. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They come out here in the eye. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another? And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Dwayne Haskins scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Redskins capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Hopkins with the extra point. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Deron Payne able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The first down carry here for Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Ryan Kerrigan in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Stafford. And he's going to go down again.
Well, these guys want to do something positive as this game approaches its end, but after giving up back-to-back sacks, it's really been more indicative of how the game has gone for them.
Now, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on fourth down.
36.
Here we go on fourth. Stafford. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Landon Collins. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. A killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Watch the backer. 40 got.
One last throw here for Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Washington, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Detroit, their woes continue as the record falls now to 1-10. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday at noon Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL.